Is the Uchiha clan officially extinct, or is there still a chance of reviving them? People say Sarada is Sasuke's first attempt at reviving his own clan, but in this video I will prove to you why the Uchiha are extinct, as well as why it is close to impossible for Sasuke to revive his clan. After the Uchiha massacre, only Sasuke was left alive, thus making him one of the only two Uchiha alive until we get introduced to Obito later down the line, who is also an Uchiha survivor since he helped Itachi take them down in the first place. Obviously, as we all know, Sarada and Sasuke are the only Uchiha left that are descendants of Kaguya Otsutsuki. Kaguya came down on Earth befriending Tenji, who is a human being on Earth. When Kaguya gave birth to two kids, her power got split into two, with Hamura receiving the Byakugan while Hagoromo got the Sharingan. Throughout generations, the two bloodlines continue to create Hyuga and Uchiha. The Hyuga are doing fine, but all the Uchiha got wiped out because of the coup, thus making Sasuke and Sarada the last Uchiha since Madara and Obito are dead. With only two Uchiha left, the chances of reviving the clan are close to none since there are not enough Uchiha to multiply and restart the clan. Reason why is because of blood dilution, which I have introduced before. First, let's talk about Sasuke and how blood dilution affects him. Because Sasuke is a full-blooded Uchiha, he would have a better chance of reviving the Uchiha clan than Sarada would, as she is only half Uchiha. Because of blood dilution, any kid Sasuke will produce will take on traits from the other parent, who 100% guaranteed will not be Uchiha since there are only two of them left alive on Earth. The problem is not that the kid would be half Uchiha, the problem is that as time progresses, the next couple of Uchiha will most likely lose their genetically inherited Sharingan since their partners won't have a single drop of Uchiha blood in them, thus causing them to take on more and more of the human traits throughout generations. With Sarada, she is already half Uchiha, which at the moment does not mean anything since she has enough Uchiha blood to fully utilize the abilities that come with being of Uchiha blood. However, if Sarada was to get married, she would take on the name of whomever she marries, meaning she will no longer be called Uchiha. That, of course, is if she decides to take on her partner's name. All the people who will become her successors will over time succumb to blood dilution, as they will go on to breed with people without any Uchiha traits, thus making the Uchiha clan extinct over time. Mukaku Hinata had difficulty awakening the Byakugan because his blood was a bit diluted. He was not a distant relative, meaning his blood was probably still quite close to the Hyuga. If that much of dilution affects your ability to awaken the dojutsu of your clan, that means the Uchiha clan will completely die out within 2 or 3 generations or so. Some scientists agree that a species is only extinct if there are not enough of its own species to continue its natural breeding process. Others agree that the species are not extinct as long as they have a good amount of numbers which are genetically viable. For those who do not know what genetical viability is, here's a definition for you. To be genetically viable is having a realistic chance of avoiding the problems of inbreeding. A population of plants or animals requires a certain amount of genetic diversity, or consequently a certain minimum number of members. If you were to apply both extinction rules to the current situation of the Uchiha, that would qualify the Uchiha as officially extinct. If you've watched my video on the amount of incest going on in the Naruto universe, you will understand that the Uchiha could only survive by inbreeding to keep their clan pure. At this point in time, there were only 2 real Uchiha alive, meaning they are going to have to inbreed in order to revive the clan. However, there are 3 problems. Number 1, Sasuke is Sarada's father and would not do that as it will ruin his character. 2, the show will be delving into mature themes which the show is not about. Number 3, Sarada and Sasuke's genetical viability is not enough to reproduce. If they do, the kid won't come out right anyway, and if that kid was to reproduce, their offspring will inherit some of their defects which won't help in reviving the clan either way. From any angle you look at it, the Uchiha clan is doomed and is technically extinct if we go by the rules of what it means to be extinct. Sasuke and Sarada won't inbreed. Over generations, blood dilution will wash away the Uchiha genetics anyways. If Sarada marries, she will take on the name of whomever she marries, thus losing the name Uchiha depending on whether she decides to keep the name or not. But now the question is, what about Shin Uchiha? Well, they are not real Uchiha to begin with. The original Shin was just a human whose body wouldn't reject any sort of DNA implanted within him. The same logic applies to his clones. They have the Sharingan because they got cloned with it. It's virtually no different from implanting the Sharingan into your eye. The only difference is that their body can adapt to any Sharingan, including the one they got from the original Shin, meaning they don't get any side effects from using it like Kakashi did. With that being said, there is nothing Uchiha about them but the eyes they got from the whole cloning process, so they don't count as Uchiha. But that leaves us with one question. Will their offspring also receive the Sharingan since the clones were created, or you could say born with them? We don't know about that, but that is probably one of the solutions Kishimoto came up with to save the Uchiha clan. Maybe. With everything calculated to how close to impossible it is to revive the Uchiha clan, there is a solution to reviving the Uchiha clan, but it won't be as natural or good as you may hope. So let's start with the good case scenarios. The steps required to revive the Uchiha clan are as follows. Number 1. Sasuke decides to have multiple kids with Sakura. By doing so, the kids will eventually grow up to have families of their own. However, that would not be good enough. The successors of those kids will eventually have to inbreed in order to keep the Uchiha bloodline alive before too much blood dilution happens and the entire clan disappears over generations. With Sasuke struggling to raise one kid, I doubt this will happen, so this scenario is unlikely. Number 2. Sasuke low-key had kids with other women which he kept secret. We all know Sasuke traveled alone after he was let out of prison. He promised Sakura he would come for her. However, what if Sasuke low-key slept around with other women in order to help aid with reviving his clan? Because realistically speaking, he cannot revive an entire clan with just one offspring. That is just not enough because of all the reasons stated before. Even if he does have love kids hiding somewhere around the world, they would need to inbreed in order to keep the clan alive. It's just a vital requirement, and if that happens, Sakura would find out, since the only possible source of Uchiha blood would come from Sasuke, and she would lose her mind. The likelihood of this happening is very unlikely. Scenario number 3 is if Orochimaru clones Sasuke or Sarada in order to create new Uchiha with enough Uchiha blood to spread it around and revive the Uchiha clan with a lesser amount of blood dilution affecting them. Sasuke's clones will be full-blooded Uchiha, so they would create half-breeds which would be better than Sarada's offsprings. The only downside to that is that they are clones of Sasuke and reincarnations of Indra, meaning they should be born with the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and Rinnegan in each eye. Since they are capable of such feats as mere fetuses, Orochimaru could try to take over one of these clones' bodies in order to inherit the Rinnegan as he once dreamed of. He could take over the body of one of the Shin clones still in his lab, then implant the Rinnegan from one of Sasuke's clones into his eyes to achieve the perfect body and eyes. Also, not to mention, there have been people who attempted to clone Naruto and Sasuke's abilities with their DNA, which they actually got close to fully duplicating, but that is a video for another day. To summarize this, anyone who gets their hands on one of the clones will be able to use them as a weapon by stealing their body, powers, or potentially even cloning them. Sarada would be a better and safer option for cloning. The possibility of this happening is very unlikely because it is very dangerous. Scenario number 4 is the last scenario, and that is if the Shin clones were introduced by Kishimoto as the actual solution to reviving the Uchiha clan. If this is the case, that means Orochimaru was actually the one to revive the Uchiha clan, not Sasuke. This means a future generation of Uchiha will actually have descended from synthetic Uchiha, which were not real to begin with. Now let's head on to the worst case scenario. Number 1. Worst case scenario is if Sasuke changes his mind to stop attempting to revive the Uchiha clan as they have caused too much havoc in the Naruto universe. If that is the case, the Uchiha clan will be confirmed as extinct as there are no further plans to continue their existence. Number 2. Sasuke is teased to be possibly dead in the future, meaning Sarada will be the last Uchiha alive. If that's the case, the possibility of the clan being revived is lower as she is only half Uchiha. It could also be that the writers will introduce another way of reviving the Uchiha clan if the Shin clones were not the intended solution. In conclusion, the Uchiha clan are extinct unless Sasuke decides to either have more kids which will inbreed as generations pass to keep their blood pure, or they will be fully extinct. From the looks of it, Sarada will be the person entrusted with the Uchiha clan, but as time progresses, if she decides to get married and take the name of her partner, she will lose her clan name, and her successors will lose the Uchiha name as well as their genes over generations, thus making the entire Uchiha clan extinct unless the Shin clones save it. Let me know your opinions on the conclusion of this video, and obviously leave your reasons down below if you have any. Check out the video about incest that goes on within the Naruto universe, as well as the videos at the end of this one. Like, comment, subscribe, and obviously share the video if you enjoyed it that much. With that being said, I have nothing more to say. Bye.